Hello and welcome to Arsenal's Christmas video for 1996. A new man at the helm has seen the team respond in the most positive way, and they're now back challenging for the main prize in the English game. The smiles are returning to the faces of the Highbury faithful. Welcome to Wenger's Wonderlads. In the next 60 minutes, we'll bring you every Gunners' goal from the season so far. We pay our traditional behind-the-scenes visit to Coney to talk to the players. Our cameras were there to record Arsene Wenger's first visit to Highbury, and we hear from the man himself about how he thinks the game of football should be played. There's an exclusive interview with Ian Wright about England, Arsene Wenger, and how he's approaching the possibility of becoming Arsenal's all-time record goal scorer. We march into Germany with the Arsenal fans as they follow the fortunes of the Gunners on their return to the European stage. Former Highbury favourite Liam Brady talks about the job he just had to come back for as he's given the task of finding the stars of the future. And in our competition, you can win a personally autographed copy of Ian Wright's new book. We start our action with Arsenal's pre-season preparations, which began in the Midlands against Birmingham City at St Andrews. Dennis Bergkamp was close to putting Arsenal ahead, only to see his shot saved by the keeper. But it was the Blues who scored first, and it came through Paul Devlin. His first-time shot from inside the area proved to be the only goal of the game. 47,000 people saw the Gunners' next game in the rebuilt Celtic Park in Glasgow. Arsenal scored first, and it came from an unlikely source. Lee Dixon latched onto a loose ball in the area and powered it home. Celtic left it late, but two goals in the last 8 minutes by Simon Donnelly and Phil O'Donnell saw the home side run out winners by 2-1. Arsenal's mini-tour of the Scottish capital continued 4 days later in Richard Gough's testimonial game, and Rangers were determined to make it a night for him to remember. Goals from Ali McCoist, Peter van Vossen and Peter Albert sealed a comfortable 3-0 victory for the Gers. Arsenal planned a much harder pre-season than in previous years, and so it continued with a 3-team tournament in Florence involving Fiorentina and Benfica. Each game was only 45 minutes long, and against the Italians they slipped to a 2-0 defeat thanks to goals from Gabriel Batistuta and Luis Oliveira. It didn't go much better against Benfica, although Arsenal did get on the score sheet first with a goal from John Hartson that proved too hot to handle for goalkeeper Prudhomme. That goal brought the Portuguese side to life, and they replied with 3 unanswered goals to win the game 3-1. The Gunners' final preparation game was away to Ipswich Town at Portman Road. Ian Wright scored first. He was on the end of a sweeping move to put Arsenal ahead. But in the end, the East Anglians managed to equalise to leave Arsenal without a win in 6 pre-season games. When the squad assembled for the ritual pre-season photo call, few could have predicted what was to come. The Highbury board decided to relieve Bruce Rioch of the manager's job after only 1 season in charge. Managing director Ken Fryer explained why.
Arsenal have today released Mr. Bruce Rioch from his position as manager of the club. Chairman Peter Hillwood stated that the board had decided that Mr. Rioch should leave now. The club have identified a successor and expect to announce the new appointment shortly.
The man they identified to replace Rioch was Frenchman Arsene Wenger, who was the manager of Japanese club Grampus 8. He achieved success in France and in Japan, but until he could arrive at Highbury, Stuart Houston and Pat Rice were assigned temporary charge of the first team. It was hardly ideal preparation for the Gunners to lose their manager just days before the start of the new season. But if anything was going to make the team concentrate on the job in hand, it was a London derby against West Ham United.
Arsenal streaming forward in the sunshine. Bergkamp. Back for Merson. Tim Breaker pressing him against the touchline, but Merson involving Winterburn again. It spins forward here for Lee Dixon. And the first goal of the new season for Arsenal. It's come from John Hartson. And it was made by Lee Dixon, popping up here and catching West Ham out. And it needed some strength here from Hartson, and he certainly had that in abundance. And he got his reward, 1-0. Well, that's good pressure by Arsenal. Oh, Reaper put up a hand, penalty. Well, I don't know what Mark Reaper was thinking of here. He was obviously perturbed by the presence of Hartson. Handball. In the absence of Ian Wright, the penalty responsibilities with Dennis Bergkamp. 2-0. The enemy. Arsenal rather neglected him. Really is a match of very fine margins. McManaman, oh, and it's deflected off Bold, and Liverpool get the break. McManaman. Oh, that's beautifully done for Barnes. Beaten out by Seaman, driven back by McManaman, he's got another one. Hartson's flick. And Walsh has lost his balance and lost the ball to Bergkamp. Oh, did he pull him down? I think he did. Dennis Bergkamp just inside the penalty area. Tugged back by Steve Walsh, penalty. Bergkamp's second penalty of the season, his second goal of the season. On from Winterburn. Back from Grayson. Oh, and Casey Keller caught in possession. Ian Wright, open goal. The gift gratefully accepted. Not the sort of incident you'd expect at this level of the game. Hughes. Wise running free. Still Dennis Wise, tripped by Steve Bold, and Chelsea have the chance to draw first blood here with a penalty. Bold was late. So it's the Frenchman, Frank Leboeuf, to give Chelsea the lead. Parler gets it back from Vialli. Vialli gets it back from Parler, and then here's Burley. Plenty of players forward for Chelsea here. Vialli against Linegan. Vialli's shot. Oh, it's in! Well, only John Lukic knows how. There's a good header from Hartson. It's Merson. Great goal. Arsenal back in the game. Bergkamp's touch was a shrewd one following Hartson's header, and a true shot from Merson. Well, Keown trying to get free. Corner worked short in the end between Merson and Blatt, and Martin Keown did get free. Great comeback by the Gunners. Well, it's over the top, and Wright has beaten Kari to it. Ian Wright hurt in the scoring of the goal, but what a crucial goal for him and for Arsenal. Clark lost the flight of the ball, he lost the path of Wright as well, and Ian Wright puts Arsenal into the lead. Well, it's all gone wrong for Ruud Gullit and Chelsea. Arsenal wanting more. Crowd calling for the final whistle. Referee letting Chelsea go on with Andy Myers. Wise calling for it, but it goes infield to Spencer. And here is Wise. Well, Chelsea have got something from the game, it seems. 3-3. York. Townsend taking over. Southgate able to stride on. Nice football from Aston Villa. Arsenal want an offside, they're not going to get it, and Milosevic is going to get himself a goal. Milosevic. There's Churchic with the pass. And York, still York. Lukic couldn't hold it. 2 for Villa, 2 for Savo Milosevic. In from Dixon. And there might be a chance here for Merson, there is. A goal poached by Paul Merson. Some sustained Arsenal pressure. Hartson couldn't win it straight away. Echiog's ball dropping for Bergkamp. And the little clipped cross took a deflection, I think, and it fell for Merson to head home. And Arsenal haven't given this up. Aston Villa concede a corner. Merson, understandably urgent in his movements to take it. On Linnigan, off the post and in, and Andy Linnigan, that cup final hero back in '93, is an Arsenal hero again at Villa Park this afternoon. It's the old routine, really. Keown flicks on, and Linnigan bravely heads in.
After 5 games, Arsenal were in 8th place in the league, but only 4 points down on the leaders. That fighting draw against Aston Villa was ideal preparation for the Gunners' next game against Borussia Mönchengladbach in the UEFA Cup.
Really is a tough draw for both sides to meet this early in the competition. Well, Juskowiak, he's in and the goal is given. Arsenal are behind at home. Nicely forward from Nielsen. And Effenberg, oh, Linnigan slipped. Seaman pushed it back to Effenberg and he took the second chance. Merson. Borussia Mönchengladbach backing off him, and they pay the price. Well, that's put a few smiles back on Arsenal faces. It was looking a black night against the team in the black kit. But Paul Merson puts Arsenal back in the game. Goal! Paslak. 3-1. Well, the German fans continue to sing. Merson. It's Wright. Good stop by the goalkeeper, but Wright puts it in and renews hope for Arsenal. Well, I wonder what impact this will have when the final analysis is drawn up in a couple of weeks' time. But Ian Wright on the spot, and it's 2 for Arsenal.
Stuart Houston resigned after that defeat, and Pat Rice was chosen to take temporary charge until Arsene Wenger arrived. It had been a difficult time for the club, but before the game against Sheffield Wednesday, he praised the way the players had responded.
Yeah, well, I mean, to say this is a situation that we all wish never happened, but we've just basically got to get on with it.
What's the morale like with the boys? I mean, on the pitch, they're showing so much determination and fight. It's unbelievable.
Well, I mean, to say they're absolutely fantastic, and you know, all the credit that's heaped upon them, they really deserve it. They've been brilliant, both in training and in playing. They're superb. You know, we're focusing in on tonight's game because it's very important, and Sheffield Wednesday are a very good side, and we're just hoping that that we'll get a good display from the team.
Before the kick-off, the team and supporters were offered further encouragement from their manager-in-waiting, with a special message relayed through the Highbury screens.
We've done such a magnificent job. Let's win tonight.
Arsene Wenger's influence was already in evidence with the signings of Remy Gard and Patrick Vieira. Vieira started the game on the bench, but the Arsenal fans were soon to get a glimpse of the impact he was to have at Highbury. The fans were kept waiting, though, as a power failure delayed kick-off by half an hour.
Pembridge and Sheffield Wednesday knocking the ball around with the confidence you'd expect from a team that have started the season so well. And here's Andy Booth, and they're in front at Highbury. On comes Patrick Vieira for his Arsenal debut. Born in Africa, French under-21 international. Bags of promise, signed from the great AC Milan. Forward from Dixon. Bit of hesitation there, and Hartson able to cut it back. Here comes David Platt. Well, that is Platt's trademark. Arriving at the right time. Hartson, and Merson's away. Sheffield Wednesday have got some chasing to do here. Des Walker brings down Merson. Arsenal have a penalty, and Walker is in trouble. Mike Reid to make the decision, and Walker is off. Well, he's quick, Des Walker, but he wasn't quick enough then. Ian Wright, this to give Arsenal the lead. And he's done it, even though Pressman went the right way. One back well from Nolan by Vieira. Vieira again. Well, that's a terrific pass. One or two Sheffield Wednesday players looking at the linesman. Wright's got the better of Pressman. Awkward angle. Oh, and he very nearly achieved the near impossible. Well, it's all Arsenal now. Merson, Vieira, Platt, half thought perhaps about having a crack at goal himself. Uses Dixon. It'll drop for Wright. The poacher's goal. Dixon's ball was so awkward to defend, and Ian Wright got the reward. Winterburn winning it well forward. Merson taking over. Winterburn's available again. Wright's in the middle. Is this the moment? It is! The hat-trick. His 100th league goal for the club. And what a change in the shape of the game from the first half. It's now Arsenal 4, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Great night for Ian Wright. 100 league goals for the club, 150 goals in all competitions. The second leading scorer in the club's history now. He's passed John Radford. Watch out, Cliff Bastard. Oh, and Emerson took his eye off the ball. And here's Wright. Emerson gets back at him. A rare old tussle there. Now Fleming stepping in for Middlesbrough. Dixon has spotted John Hartson in the clear. It's a chance for Arsenal. And it's a beautifully taken goal from the Welshman. Well, they switched off at the back, Middlesbrough. They were watching the ball and not the man. They didn't pick up at Hartson, but he picked out the perfect shot. Cox. Emerson. Platt getting in quickly. Back with Cox again. Now though, Hartson for Arsenal. Angling that pass well for Merson. Right through the centre. Cut out by Vickers. Oh, not cut out by Vickers. Ian Wright. And Steve Vickers punished for a terrible individual mistake. He seemed to have made the interception and then in the end almost trod on the ball. And that's the last thing you want to do when Ian Wright is around.
After all the speculation, rumours and counter-rumours, Arsene Wenger finally arrived at Highbury. Less than 24 hours after that victory over Middlesbrough, he was ushered into the ground to be presented to a sizable media contingent at a press conference held in the South Stand. It was a chance for the sports journalists to meet the man in person, and it was an opportunity for Arsene himself to look around the ground. We'll be hearing from the new manager later on in the video as he talks about his new challenge.
What I like in England is the stadium is really a part of the city. Look, you see the houses around.
2 days later, Arsene Wenger and the Arsenal team were in Cologne to attempt to overturn a 3-2 deficit from the first leg against Borussia Mönchengladbach in the UEFA Cup. The mood of the players was upbeat and they were confident they could get the right result. But although Arsene Wenger was with the team, he couldn't officially take charge until his contract in Japan came to an end.
I'm here mainly to observe and to help Pat Rice to prepare the game. It's quite interesting because I think the morale of the team is great and the confidence is high, so we are in good conditions, I think. We need a little bit luck tomorrow, but I'm sure we'll make a good game.
With the chance to exhibit his talents on the European stage, Ian Wright was in a positive frame of mind and felt that with the right approach they could get the right result. But where did Ian feel they went wrong in the first game?
We shouldn't have let in any goals. Unfortunately we did, so now, like typical Arsenal, we have to pull it back, and we're used to that. We don't know any other way.
It's going to be tough, but we're going to give it our best shot.
On the day of the game, the travelling Arsenal fans took a chance to have a stroll along the Rhine, and we took the opportunity to get their thoughts on how the game would go.
I don't think that 2 goals is beyond us tonight. I think the main thing is to get one early and probably one late. 2-0 to the Arsenal.
They're a good team. But I think defensively they're weak. They're a good keeper. But if we put them under pressure, I think we can get something.
Effenberg's their danger man, no question. But they're Jekyll and Hyde. They lost 4-0 at Cologne the other week. They beat the champions 5-1 at the weekend. Let's hope we catch them on a Jekyll night.
Merson. And now Mönchengladbach pushing 1 or 2 players forward. Effenberg's pass, inviting Juskowiak, who got the first goal in the first game, and he's done the same here. Arsenal badly in need of some sort of fillip before half-time. And with Ian Wright around, there's always the chance that that might happen. 1-1 here. So Arsenal on aggregate now 4-3 behind. There's still hope. And clinical work again from Ian Wright. Well, Arsene Wenger, who watched from the stand in the first half, down at touchline level for the second. Vieira. Arsenal have to chase the game. This is Merson. What a goal! Well, those who've come here to Cologne supporting Arsenal must be absolutely thrilled by what they're witnessing. Arsenal draw level on aggregate. They've still got the away goals problem to overcome. Great goal from Merson. Lupescu. And again. Headed on by Hochstatter. And here's Effenberg. Well, that might be the decisive moment. Arsenal have to keep on pressing. Effenberg. Well, there are problems here. And they've got another one. Juskowiak again. And now it's 3-2 to Mönchengladbach in both matches.
It's a mood of disappointment, to be truthful, because the boys fought very hard, and they just got us on the break.
Any game, you know, we don't like losing. And it is disappointing, you know, we definitely fancied our chances tonight. We were confident.
So, out of the UEFA Cup perhaps, but big things were to happen in the Premiership.
Merson's pass. Oh, and Scott went in then, and Paul Danson didn't like that. Nor did Lee Dixon. Martin Scott with a dangerous challenge. And he's off his second offence. Up goes Stewart. And Steve Bold at his back. Did he push Stewart onto that? Stewart certainly put arm to ball. Oh my goodness. The referee has seen that as a second bookable offence, the handball. And Paul Stewart goes, and Sunderland are down to 9 men. Peter Reid cannot believe what he's seeing. And of course he's been sent from the dugout as well. Still gallant defending from Sunderland. Shaw's cross. Hartson! Well, Arsenal at last have got the goal. The gallant resistance of the 9 men is broken here through the head of John Hartson. Shaw. Now Parler. Tight angle, great shot! Well, Sunderland well and truly sunk now. A rare goal from Ray Parler.
It was very difficult, you know. Sometimes the fans seem to think it's easier playing against 9 men, which it should be, but it's not that easy, like, you know. They just get behind the ball and they defend and they make it very hard for you. Sometimes it's better to play 11v11 so you can create gaps and everything, so it was very difficult, like.
Well, maybe a mixed blessing for Arsene Wenger. First game in charge, away to the bottom club. Vieira. Played on by Wright to Winterburn. That's rather speculative, but Hartson made it more than that. Well, Wright turned inside marker. Well, he makes it look ridiculously easy, Ian Wright. He was helped, to be fair. by Nicky Marker, not getting close enough to him, but the taking of the chance, brilliant. Wilcox. Vieira getting to it with that easy stride of him. To score his second and maybe bury Blackburn. Vieira very much involved in the build-up, providing the pass, but look at Ian Wright's first touch, to carry it on into his stride, and then the acceleration, and the rest inevitable.
So Arsene Wenger was at last Arsenal manager. He began with a win at Blackburn, and Coventry City were to be the opponents on his first game in charge at Highbury, and with it came an opportunity to go top of the table.
Right going on. Winterburn quickly on the scene, and Arsenal keep going. Well, the ball's still alive with Vieira, despite a groan of disapproval from the North Stand. Well, everyone stopped as though there was going to be an offside then, but Steven Grizovic served Coventry nobly. Mercer's ball in. Hartson's header. Maybe he feels he should have scored. Wright was a certainty, but not.
First game at Highbury, of course I'm disappointed because I think we deserved to win the game. But on the other way, I am pleased with the attitude and the spirit of the team. And they did everything to win. So you have sometimes to accept it also. And to congratulate the opponent because Coventry made it difficult for us.
Even though Arsenal could only draw that game, a point was still good enough to take them to the top of the table for the first time since November 1992, a position a lot of people thought impossible at the start of the season. So it's been a good start for Arsene Wenger, and every day in training at Coney is a chance to get more of his thoughts and ideas across to the players. When he was first announced as the Gunners' new boss, not many people knew too much about him. But what did he know about Arsenal?
I knew a little bit Arsenal before taking over here, so I think I knew that it was a big club, and what I ignored before it that it was such a big interest for everybody, for the press, for the supporters, that had so many supporters, and such a big interest over the country. So that was a little bit surprising, but the rest I knew that there was always a big atmosphere, a nice atmosphere during the games, and I knew all the players, of course.
He had very little time to prepare properly when he first came to Arsenal, so what was the first thing he wanted to do when he arrived?
First job is to have contact with the players and to get them used to your way of work, and to have a right evaluation of the strengths and the weaknesses of the team. And fortunately I had 2 weeks to get adapted to the job and to get used to the teams and the players to get used to my way of work. I have to adapt myself to the way of life in England because I don't want to destroy what is the great and the strong point of Arsenal and of the players, and you have to change without disturbing, I would say.
As soon as he accepted the job, he started thinking about the sort of players he wanted to bring to the club. His recommendations to the board of directors resulted in the arrival of two fellow countrymen, Rémi Garde from Strasbourg and Patrick Vieira from Milan.
I think Patrick was known as a big talent in France, and considering that he was only 20, he was born 76, I think it was a big chance for Arsenal to take this player because I believe he has a great future. And Rémi was free of transfer, and I think he was a good deal and a good chance for Arsenal.
Finally, we thought it would be an idea to get the new manager's views on how he thinks the game of football should be played.
Always what looks very simple is very difficult to achieve. So I try to, I believe very strongly in the collective way of play. That means defensively in a collective way of play, that everybody has a strict rule to respect and that everybody runs together and wins the ball together. And offensively, I believe, I'm a strong believer in a collective way of play, in a simple and quick passing and in a movement without ball. Of course, it's simple to speak about, but very difficult to apply. and I think we'll have to work very hardly on it, and it needs some time to get it on the field.
Merson. Arsenal still 10 back. And a goal! Mike Sheeran, man in form, got there first. Keown. Merson. Ian Wright, is he to the rescue here? He is. Much needed for Arsene Wenger and his players. And the French manager learning week in, week out what talent he's inherited here in the shape of Ian Wright. You wonder what's going through George Graham's mind. Must be a very strange afternoon for him, but now at least he's got the match to concentrate on. And Vieira stretching away here. And it's Lee Dixon. The goalkeeper's positioning was a little strange, and Dixon had plenty to aim at. And no sooner had George Graham sent Leeds United out to face Arsenal at Highbury. They're a goal down. And it's Lee Dixon. Bergkamp, here's another one. Well, Arsenal really pumped up for this particular challenge. It came off right a bit. The ball went behind him, Bergkamp went behind him, and there was nothing Nigel Martin could do. Back to Merson, who'd stayed onside. Rush. But Arsenal have it again. And Leeds looking across to the far side. There's no flag. And it's a goal for Ian Wright. He's cashed in as well. Leeds not happy. They thought Bergkamp had got too far forward. But it is now Arsenal 3, George Graham's Leeds United 0.
After the Leeds game, we were granted an exclusive interview with Arsenal superstar Ian Wright, and we began by asking him how he and the rest of the team approached the unsettled start to the season.
After all the hullabaloo of the start of the season, and then the boss got here and everything, you know, it's really going well. What we try to do, what the boys try to do is try to make a conscious effort to make sure that we stayed in and amongst the top teams until everything was sorted out, i.e. till the boss got here, and that's what we've done. And now, you know, it's looking pretty good.
Arsene Wenger has quickly become a big fan of Ian Wright, but what are his first impressions of the new manager?
He's very forceful in the way he tells you things. He wants you to understand exactly what you've got to do when you go out there. He's very motivated, and he wants you to do the very best you can every time you train and play, and you know, that suits me fine. England is very important to me. When I'm not playing, I'm involved with England, I go and watch. I'm an England fan. I do like England to do well, whether I'm playing or not. And you know, so to be involved in any kind of role is brilliant. You know, when I got on the standby, you know, it was a surprise. And like, you know, there's a lot of talk now, people saying I'll be in the next one. But I'm not thinking about it, because that's how I gauge myself from the start of the season, to not think about actually getting back in England, but scoring goals and playing well enough for people to recognise that you're having a good season.
At the start of the season, Ian was third on the list of the top 10 all-time Arsenal goal scorers. It didn't take him long to overtake John Radford, and he now needs only 16 goals to leapfrog Arsenal legend Cliff Bastin.
Everybody I meet in the street, and they're telling me about the record, and you know, you've got to break that record, and I say I'm going to try, and they say no, don't try, do it. And so, you know, people are more, I let people worry about it more than me. You know, I'm going to just try and score goals whenever I can, and breaking the record will be a fantastic achievement for myself. But it would be an honour to be a record breaker here.
Finally, we asked Ian to pick his favourite goal of the season so far, and you might be a bit surprised by his answer.
Let's see. Leicester, the first goal of the season, because it seemed like it was a very easy goal. And, you know, Nigel done fantastic for me, you know, and he closed down the goalkeeper, and then the ball just broke to me, and I just had to side foot it in from the edge of the box. And it was a lot harder than people thought, but I was pleased with that because it was the first one.
Ekoku, hardly to the right. Ball didn't get there. Vieira. That's a good run from him. And it's a useful pass too, because it's put Ian Wright in for the opening goal. Celebrations at Selhurst Park again from a player who knows this ground so well, but the goal set up by a teammate playing here for the first time, Patrick Vieira, measuring the ball into the run of Wright. And it's Wimbledon 0, Arsenal 1. Well, it's handball given against Merson. So the danger not over for Arsenal yet. Jones! Yes, it's in! Well, that was Perry coming over the back of Wright. A foot up there, was it? Well, the game goes on, and Merson's got an angle here for a second goal for Arsenal. With the left foot. Just wondered whether the referee might have seen that as dangerous play by Ian Wright. He didn't. Merson didn't hesitate. And Arsenal are back in front. Plenty of length on the throw. Jones volleys it in again. This is Robbie Earle. And it's bundled in. Marcus Gale, I think.
Now it's time to catch up on the other teams at Highbury. At the end of August, we followed the reserves as they took on Watford in the Combination League. Included in the Arsenal lineup was Ian Wright, who was using the game to sharpen up his fitness after missing the first few games of the season. In the end, it turned into a comfortable 3-0 win for the Gunners. Dutchman Glenn Helder scored one of the goals, and Ian Wright scored the other two, proving that he was well on the way to a return to the first team. If you look at the combination table, you can see that although George Armstrong's side are in 9th position, they're only 5 points behind leaders Wimbledon. In the South East Counties League, Tom Wally's side are currently in 6th place, only 6 points behind the leaders and level pegging with arch-rival Spurs. After an opening day defeat at Doncaster Bells, Vic Akers' ladies' side then proceeded to win 5 and draw 1 of the next 6 games, and they're handily placed in 3rd position.
Now Bold. And maybe Stoke can break here. Certainly, you know, when you play a team managed by Lou Macari, there's going to be a contest. Oh, and it's Mike Sheeran who scored in the first game. He scored again here, and Stoke are in front. Vieira. Bergkamp pulled back. It's a penalty. Short run up from Wright. Goalkeeper went the right way, but he rather dived underneath it. Wright's cross, and Platt put it in with his chest. So it's looking brighter for Arsenal now. A perfect start to the second half for them. And Wright showing that he can make goals as well as score them. Merson with the corner. And there's another one. And you can't let Wright have that sort of room. Totally unattended by the far post. And a free header, and it's 3-1. Right. Bergkamp skimmed it in. And the Stoke resistance well and truly broken now. There were runners either side. Wright picked out Bergkamp, who picked out the back of the net. Right. Well, this is Dixon. Merson is there. And there's number 5. He got it across the line somehow. Lee Dixon very involved with that buccaneering run. And then Merson by the goalkeeper, maybe a defender as well. So, who'd have thought of this at half-time when it was 1-1? It is now Arsenal 5, Stoke City 1. But hang on, more to come, and it's Sheeran again, 5-2 now. Neville's cross, looking for Cantona. Arsenal keep their defensive shape. Oh, but Beckham nearly split them asunder then. That was a wonderful effort. Slightly bashful Arsene Wenger, perhaps, ducking down behind the wall then. Oh, and Seaman tried to volley it away, he's in trouble. This is Nicky Butt. And that's a goal for Manchester United, a really untidy one, and it went in off Nigel Winterburn. Still 1-0 to Manchester United. But Vieira. Now Merson. This is Dixon to strike it. Schmeichel can't hold it. Now Wright! Brilliant work from the goalkeeper.
As traditional, we visited Coney to talk to the players and find out about life under their new manager. There's been a change in how the players train and prepare for games, but they're all enjoying the new regime. For some players, it's a totally new way of thinking, but it's nothing new for the players who've experienced working under foreign coaches before.
For the players here, it's a bit strange to end your training session with stretches and everything. And for us, it's very normal to do a warm up for 45 minutes and do some stretches after the training. But it's different for the English players, I think. But that's the way they do it in Europe, and yeah. It's different, but yeah, it will work out. I think it's good for your body.
I'm enjoying training immensely. He keeps everything short and sharp and concentrated, and I'm really enjoying it. Proof is going to be in obviously the results, and if we can put a trophy on the sideboard.
David Platt is used to a foreign coach's way of thinking from his time in Italy, but how does he think the players have responded to Arsene Wenger?
Arsene Wenger is somebody who, his ideas on the training pitch is the way that he reads the game and his tactical mind. It stimulates players and it motivates players and it teaches them as well. I think the way that the players have adapted has been commendable. I think they've been absolutely tremendous, and they're actually enjoying it to the full, and the dividends being paid.
Dixon's throw. Bergkamp. Penalty. I think Clive Wilson got in the second time. It was a genuine tangle challenging for the ball. there, but watch as Bergkamp tries to get up. Out goes Wilson's leg. Well, whether that was intentional or not, the referee's seen it that way, and David Ellery has given Arsenal a penalty. And here comes Ian Wright. More celebrations for Wright and for Arsenal. The name up in lights again. Dixon storming forward, and Wright's got another opportunity. On from Platt. Calderwood's header. Platt again. Merson. Oh, it's a super ball for Wright. Well, in theory, Tottenham should throw the ball back to Arsenal, but they've gone for a goal and got a goal. Andy Sinton. 1-1. Well, Tony Adams has won these North London derbies before, and maybe he's done it again here. Just a flick off Carr. Now, what's in Ian Wright's mind? Keep it in the corner? No. Playing such adventurous football under Arsene Wenger, and reaping a rich reward here in stoppage time, rubbing Tottenham noses in the dirt. 3-1.
Now it's time to catch up with one of the all-time great Highbury players. Liam Brady has rejoined Arsenal in his new capacity as head of youth development. We asked him why he came back.
The job is attractive in itself. You know, I'm head of the youth policy department, and all that goes with it. I have to coordinate the scouts, make sure the scouts are doing their work. We have to make sure that we have the right coaches for the boys. The PR of the club is right. So there's a lot of responsibility, and that was an attraction in itself. But I think the thing that won me over was the fact I was coming back to Arsenal. I probably wouldn't have accepted a job like this anywhere else.
It makes for impressive reading when you look at the list of players who progress from the youth squad right through to the first team. And Liam knows that it's not going to be easy to keep the supply going.
Yes, the youth policy has been one of the tremendous assets of the club down through the years, and we probably lost it a wee bit just lately. You know, we haven't had the standard of, let's say, international class player coming through, and that's what we want to get back. We want to get these players coming through, and we want to get these players winning trophies for Arsenal. It's very competitive. All the top teams want the best young players around. But I think you can have a look at the facilities we have here, and I'm confident that that's an attraction in itself. The coaching standard is very good.
Finally, we asked Liam to outline the differences between coaching kids and seasoned professionals.
They don't answer you back when you tell them something. No, jokes apart, it is refreshing. They show terrific enthusiasm, and of course they're dreaming one day that they're going to be footballers, and we're trying to help them with that.
Oh, and Ruddock lost his concentration, lost the ball, and David James has brought down Hartson, and an early penalty here at Anfield for Arsenal. So at the Kop end, Ian Wright, and Arsenal are in front, and no sort of celebration here. Bjerneby's cross, McManaman's header. Out comes Lukic, and Liverpool want a penalty for the contact with Fowler. It's not been given by Alan Wilkie. Corner taken quickly, now they've got a penalty. Well, that must have been seen as handball by Dixon. So Robbie Fowler, who's done so much damage to Arsenal in the past, puts them behind here. McAteer taken on by McManaman. McAteer held his position well, and Fowler, he's got another one. Mark Wright climbing on John Hartson. It's the third penalty of the game. And Arsenal with 10 men now have the chance to get a foothold back in this cup tie. Ian Wright scores again. 3-2. Berger. Well, that may well end the Arsenal resistance.
Now it's competition time, and Thomas Eade from Leytonstone was the winner from our last video. He wins a signed photo of the first team plus a new Arsenal strip. He correctly guessed that Ian Wright moved above Jimmy Brain in the all-time goal-scoring charts with his goal against Newcastle last season, and that Cliff Baston is the current record scorer. The prize on offer this Christmas is a personally signed copy of Ian Wright's new book. To win it, all you have to do is correctly name the Arsenal player who's pretending to be Santa Claus. When you think you know the answer, send your entry to the following address: Arsenal Competition, Chrysalis Sport Limited, 6 Church Studios, Camden Park Road, London NW1 9AY. Postcards only, please, and good luck.
Ian Wright is springing away, left of centre. He's held off Peacock. Oh, what a goal from Lee Dixon. There's his answer to Ginola. Arsenal have scored. Ian Wright made it, and Lee Dixon came careering in at the far post to head sweetly past Cernicek. Beardsley for Ginola. Oh, Shearer's free, and he doesn't miss from there. Can't pay Alan Shearer enough tributes. He might be in again here. And Graham Barber has to decide what and where and why. Begs the question, what punishment for Adams? Oh, it is punishment. Graham Barber's thought about it, and Tony Adams is sent off. Ian Wright on the ball with an awful lot to do, but help arriving in the shape of Merson. Smash and grab it, maybe. Newcastle can't believe it, but it's Ian Wright to a tee. In the 15th minute of the second half, and Arsenal are back in front. They've done it with 10 men this time. Oh, what a story this is. Merson was trying to shoot. Wright got lucky, but he made the most of it.
That magnificent win meant Arsenal replaced Newcastle at the top of the Premiership, and who's to say that come the end of the season, the Gunners won't still be occupying the top position. So the message from Gunners fans must be more of the same, please. That's it for this Christmas, and it just remains for the players of an increasingly continental squad to wish you, the fans, a happy Christmas.
This is David Platt. Happy Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone.
Just like to wish you all a Merry Christmas and have a great New Year.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas to everyone.
Happy Christmas and Happy New Year, and thank you for all the support you've given us over the last year.
Joyeux Noël. Joyeux Noël. Wel Kerstfeest.
Nadolig llawen i gyd o'r supporters a diolch yn fawr am dod i'r games.
Happy Christmas to everybody. Joyeux Noël.
Happy Christmas and a sober New Year. Yeah.